Hey there, everybody. It's Mark Yagi. Hope you're doing really well. Having a great week. It's been a weird week, kind of crazy. We've had some up markets of 600-700 points, down markets of 600-700 points. It's been volatile and all over the place. And if you're in technology, you are feeling some pain. And if you're in CrowdStrike, oh my God, sorry, you're feeling a ton of pain. But if you have a long-term strategy, if you have a trading plan, if you have a system, which I always talk about, you got to have some kind of system, then you're probably doing okay because you know that over time, if you stick to your system and you have your rules, you're going to be doing fine. So let's get into what's going on in the market. We have, as you'll see here, a crazy market going on right now. We have four lights, two of them are green and two of them are red, right? So it's a yellow market. It's trying to decide whether it wants to go up or whether it goes down. But a yellow market just basically means caution. And certainly this has been one of those weeks where you're like, oh my gosh, I need to be cautious because things are shifting, right? We don't know what's going on in the presidential situation. We don't know what's going on with the Fed. We don't know this is a cautionary time. So it may not last very long. It may only last a few days, but you got to keep an eye on some cautionary strategies. So let's look at the NASDAQ. You can see 10 days in a row created this little downtrend, and now it's below its 50-day moving average. Nothing good happens when an index or a stock is below its 50-day moving average. Not a lot of good things happen. So we need some help to be able to get back above that 50 so good things can start happening again. But we've got this gap out here. And then we have some higher volume declines like yesterday. These are scaring the markets and making people go to the sidelines. And, we've had a bit of an up run, so that makes a little bit of sense. Let's keep going. S&P 500, same kind of thing. Gap down 3 days ago, and it's back above the 50 today. So we'll see if it can hold that. The Dow Jones Industrial looks actually pretty strong. When everything else is going down, this one's going up, and it's going up on some decent-ish volume. Not great, but at least it's going in the right direction. So the bigger stocks, the big wider, industrial stocks are doing well. The techs are having the sell-off, like I showed you. The New York Stock Exchange Composite Index is even a broader market index than the Dow Jones, and it's doing okay. It's above the 50. It's above the the 20-day and all that kind of stuff. So by and large, we've got a couple of indexes that are bringing us down, a couple of indexes that are kind of trying to hang in there, and that's why we have a yellow market. That's the way it analyzes, And I don't try to predict markets. I try to see where the puck is going, right? By playing the probabilities, but I don't know if it's going to go there or not go there. I just go, well, there's a good chance it's going to go there. Right now we're in yellow. So who knows if it's going to go up or down from here? You've got to kind of figure out what the rule is for you in a yellow market. But looking at the VIX, the volatility index, you can see the big spike in the volatility index in the last 2 weeks. I mean, it used to kind of cruise around between 11, 12, 13 at the bottom, but now it's spiked up. So there's a lot more panic in the market. The Dow Jones transports, though, which lead the Dow Jones Industrials, in the Dow theory, that means stuff is moving around the country. So, that's kind of bouncing up here in the last few days. Anyway, it's not as down as I thought it might be with all these markets selling off and people freaking out about recessions. So it's good. Let's keep going. Utilities, people are rushing into utilities. That's why you're seeing the big spike in utilities. They're more safe. They pay a little bit of a dividend. Look at the gold shares. You would think gold would be spiking up too, but gold has been kind of volatile and all over the place. So that's the GLD right there. And then look at airlines. Now, CrowdStrike had a big outage this week, and the airlines were taken out. And one of the airlines, specifically Delta, I know for sure, is still recovering. And it's going to be millions and millions and millions of dollars. And you know what? These airlines and banks and payment processors and schools and all these people that were riding on this CrowdStrike backbone, they're going to be pissed. They're going to be suing CrowdStrike. So I wouldn't be buying any CrowdStrike here. If you watched my video yesterday, that's what I said. But look at that airline index. I would not want to be in airlines right now. That's going down to test that 45.92 level, I think. It may take some time to get there, but it's not good right now. On the biotechs, look at that spike up on the biotechs. I don't know what the news is there. I don't follow biotechs, but the index is telling us it's doing something or it's done something. It looks like it's making the end of a leg of an ABCD up pattern, which is that 48.21 to 53.58. That's leg number one. And then it looks like it's finishing up that equalized ABCD pattern we'll see what happens. I call it the lightning bolt pattern or Gartley pattern, depending on what you look at. But there's something right on the chart that says, hey, biotechs are going up, but are they continuing to go up? We'll see. All right. The broker-dealer index, regardless of what's going on with Schwab, the broker-dealer index keeps going up higher because of volatility. People are trading, blah, blah, blah. The housing index, can you believe it? It's at an all-time high. Why? I just keep hearing there's so much inventory and there's the interest rates are high and people can't buy homes because they're, they can't qualify. The index is telling us different things. That's why you got to not listen to the stories and you got to watch the charts, because the charts tell you a better story than what's really going on. And if you look here, there was a big gap up on good energy that's led to another gap up, and it's taken us all the way up higher. What's going on in the housing? And housing means if you're building stuff, people are employed. If people are employed, the economy is doing well. So whatever they're telling us, I'm not sure we got to believe them. We got to believe ourselves because we know, right? We know better. We're smart. Apple. We're just going to talk about a few of our widely held stocks, at least in my Cash Flow Machine Mastermind program. We had great discussion today about all these stocks and where they're going and how they react to these yellows. Apple, 10 days in a row, has created a downtrend in this market, although it's pretty healthy. The decline has been on low volume. You can see that here. And it hasn't even gone down to test its 50-day moving average. I don't even know if that's in the cards here with Apple because, maybe the selling's dried up. There's not a lot of selling. So as soon as we get a good market, maybe it'll bounce. If we have a bad market, probably takes Apple down a little bit. Amazon. I don't like this action in Amazon, although it's kind of benign. It's just the volume is not low. The sell-off is below the 50. I don't love that. And, is there a point where you scoop up a little Amazon? Yeah, probably around that 174 level, that little swing point there. Maybe that's where you do it. Certainly the 166 level if it gets out of that. But I wouldn't be touching Amazon until it gives you a reason. And a yellow market is not a time to be establishing a position in a new company, by the way, just a fair warning. All right. Tesla, as you know, they reported numbers on Tuesday, had really great numbers, actually. If you look at it, their sales were record sales. This company continues to execute on sales. They're the number one selling car in the world. They actually had the number one selling electric vehicle truck, the Cybertruck, in that quarter, in this last quarter. So they sold more electric trucks than Ford did, the F-150 Lightning. This company is doing a bunch of things. They didn't hit it on the earnings, right? So the earnings per share they fell short. They had a restructuring, which brought that down. If you take out the restructuring, they actually beat numbers. But, the company is having some margin issues because of EV demand and pricing. And, they've got to get through this funk, but I think they are. Electric storage, battery storage is up 100%. Anyway, I could talk for a while on Tesla. You know me, I'm in Tesla. JP Morgan, look at this, almost at all-time highs. That's because that Fed is talking about lowering rates, and that's good because Treasury values on the books of JP Morgan will go up. So that's why the stock is going up. Let's do one more. We'll do another one here. Let's do Coinbase. Now, there's a Bitcoin conference going on in Nashville right now, and RFK is there. I think he spoke yesterday. Trump is expected to speak tomorrow afternoon. He may announce that the U.S. is going to create if he wins, will create a Bitcoin reserve, a strategic reserve, kind of like we have that oil petroleum reserve. Donald Trump believes in Bitcoin. There's 50 million people that are Bitcoiners in this country, so he's courting that vote. But if he makes an announcement about Bitcoin and using it as the U.S. strategic reserve instead of gold or with gold, I think that's really bullish long-term for Bitcoin. I'm a big bull long-term on Bitcoin anyway, but you could see Coinbase Global is the custodian for the 9 ETFs that were approved in January. So they're going to stand to gain a lot if anything happens accretively in Bitcoin, any big announcements. And RFK is a big fan of Bitcoin, and so is now Donald Trump. Harris has basically, given the Bitcoin the Heisman a bit, but the other two, if they win, anybody wins on that side, it's good for Bitcoin. Listen, that's it for me. I know I went a little long today, but it's a yellow market, and I want you to be careful because it's better to try to preserve your capital so you can live to fight another day than to try to make money in these markets and try to catch the falling knife. So don't be a hero. Let the market settle down. get comfortable before you get back in. Don't let them run away from you. But there's spots on the chart that you can find and utilize those to use as reasons to get back in, learn about chart reading, breakout strategies, those kinds of things. If I could do anything for you, I've got a few courses on breakouts. I got courses on selling covered calls. Love to be of service to you because I'm trying to change the world by helping people realize that they could do a lot better in most cases by having a system. They can beat Wall Street by just seeing what Wall Street's doing and having a system and following it and making that happen. So if I can help you, click on one of the links below and we'll figure out a way to get in touch with each other. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a fantastic summer weekend, and I'll see you next week on the weekly stock market update. Take care. Bye.